A 7-year-old boy drags a duffel bag, almost as big as he is, toward a bus. His mother crouches down, says something quietly, he nods, and then she lets go. No tears, no promises to call every hour. She watches the bus pull away, and she lets it go. If you didn't grow up in America, that moment probably looks like something between bravery and abandonment. But what if that goodbye, that single, ordinary American goodbye, is actually one of the most narrating in the world? Here's what the research says. A landmark study from the American Camp Association, built on data from over 5,000 campers, found that 92% of children who attended overnight camp showed measurable gains in independence, friendship skills, and the ability to handle challenges in a single summer. Developmental psychologist, Dr. Christopher Thurber, of Phillips Exeter Academy, who has spent 2 decades studying camp psychology, calls it one of the few environments that still lets children practice being human without a parent catching every fall. By the end of this video, you'll understand 3 things American overnight camp quietly teaches children that most parenting approaches around the world never get to: the psychology of chosen belonging, the science of productive homesickness, and a concept researchers call the growth edge that you can build right inside your own home. And I'll be honest, one of these 3, I didn't believe in it until I read the research myself. Stay with me. Even if overnight camps aren't part of your culture or your budget, what you're about to learn isn't about the camp, it's about the conditions that build a fearless child. And those you can create anywhere. In many homes around the world, a child's social world is built for them. Family, neighborhood, school, all arranged by adults. American overnight camp does something almost radical. It drops a child into a group of total strangers and says, essentially, figure it out. No parent to smooth the awkward moments. No sibling to default to. Just your child, a cabin, 8 kids they've never met, and 3 weeks. Here's what I find fascinating. That discomfort? Developmental psychologists say it's another exact environment where social confidence is forged. The science, research published in the Journal of Adolescence, found that children who formed friendships in novel, unstructured social settings, like camp cabins, showed significantly stronger social problem-solving skills than those whose friendships were formed within familiar school or family networks. The key word is novel. Your child's brain works harder and grows faster when it can't rely on existing social scripts. Dr. Brené Brown's work on belonging adds another layer. Children who choose to connect rather than being placed in connection develop what she calls the true belonging, a confidence that isn't dependent on fitting in. That's a different kind of social strength entirely. Picture a girl named Maya, 9 years old, quiet, bookish. Her parents almost didn't send her. First night at camp, she cried. Second night, she found one other girl who also liked to read. By week 2, she was leading their cabin's talent show act, not because she stopped being shy, but because no one at camp knew she was shy. That's the reset that only distance can give. Here's the thing, nobody tells you, American camp culture doesn't try to prevent homesickness. It uses it. In many cultures around the world, if a child cries for home, the answer is to bring them home. The discomfort is treated as a signal that something is wrong. American camp counselors are trained to do something counterintuitive. They validate the feeling and then redirect the child's attention toward what they can control right now. That difference is enormous. The science, Dr. Thurber's research, found that mild to moderate homesickness, when not rescued away, actually, it functions as a child's first real experience of emotional self-regulation. Children who worked through homesickness at camp showed measurably higher distress tolerance scores afterward. In plain English, they became better at sitting with hard feelings, without falling apart. That skill, emotional tolerance, is one of the strongest predictors of resilience into adulthood. And here's what I personally found surprising when I first read this. The children who struggled most in the first 48 hours often showed the greatest gains by week 3. The discomfort wasn't the problem. It was the curriculum. The third thing camp does, and this one you can use tonight, is what researchers call scaffolded challenge, or what I think of more simply as the growth edge. Every activity at a well-run American camp is designed to be just beyond a child's current comfort level. Not impossible, not easy, right at the edge. Archery when you've never held a bow, climbing a wall when you're afraid of heights, performing in a camp show when you've never sung in public. In many homes around the world, and I say this with deep respect because it comes from love, parents protect children from the edge, from embarrassment, from failure. American camp culture does the opposite. It walks the child to the edge, gives them the tools, and stays close enough to catch them, but doesn't pull them back. The science. Psychologist Lev Vygotsky's concept of the zone of proximal development. Essentially, the growth edge shows that children learn fastest and build the most durable confidence when the challenge is slightly beyond current ability, but within reach with effort. A 2019 study from the University of Michigan found that children who regularly experienced structured challenge in low-stakes environments showed 34% stronger self-efficacy belief in their own ability than children who were primarily protected from failure. I want to be honest here. This is the principle I personally struggle with most. Watching your child struggle is one of the hardest things a parent can do. Every instinct says, step in, fix it, make it easier. But the research is clear. The edge is where the growth lives. So here's your one thing. Not a program, not a summer. Tonight, find one small thing your child usually asks you to help with. Tying their shoes, choosing what to pack, solving a sibling argument. And this week, pause 3 full seconds before stepping in. Just 3 seconds. Give their brain a chance to reach for the answer before yours arrives. That pause, that tiny, deliberate gap, is the growth edge inside your own home. You don't need a bus pulling away. You don't need a camp in the mountains. You just need to believe, for 3 seconds at a time, that your child is more capable than your fear thinks they are. And they are. If this changed the way you see your child, subscribe to Bloom School. There is so much more coming, and your child deserves every bit of it.